I'm being completely candid. I have a bad habit of being candid. A bad habit of being candid. So people would say, Joe, it's probably true.
Well, Vice President Biden speaking yesterday, his candid comments in his New Hampshire also included a put down of a secretly recorded comment by Governor Mitt Romney.
Yeah, and during that, the governor said about 47% of the country will vote for the president, no matter what. Here's Mr. Biden's take on that.
I'm going to refrain from talking about Romney's view of that we don't owe, he doesn't owe the 7% American population anything. By the way, those people out there are people like all of us.
So, are liberals giving the vice president a free pass when it comes to his questionable statements? My panel today, Ford O'Connell, chairman of the Civic Forum PAC and former outreach director for the McCain presidential campaign, and Margie Omero. She is a Democratic pollster and president of Momentum Analysis. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So let's start with the vice president's comments regarding the 47%. Obviously, that's out of context because in that secretly recorded conversation earlier this year at a fundraiser, Governor Romney said, his words, "My job is not to worry about those people who will vote for President Obama no matter what." Clearly referring to while he was campaigning for president, not anything that he would do as president. So, Margie, does the vice president really not realize that, or is he intentionally spinning the comment and intentionally misleading the public?
There's actually a lot more from that comment that sounds even worse than the phrase that the vice president used. And you can't blame the vice president for the tin ear of Mitt Romney. I mean, he said that those people are victims. He described half of the electorate as victims. Those were his words. And that includes, first of all, 2/3 of those people pay taxes. 2, it includes students, the elderly, and veterans. And 3, you have a lot of leading Republicans and conservatives this week calling Mitt Romney stupid, arrogant, a rolling calamity, and that's from his own party.
But he was referencing the people who will vote for Obama that he says will not vote for him. Ford?
Heather, Joe Biden has been doing what he's been doing all along. He's assuming his designated campaign role is dispenser of propaganda. Let's be honest. Americans lead busy lives, and they really don't have a lot of time to really tune in and out of the presidential happenings on a daily basis. So the Obama campaign sends Vice President Biden out there to say the most outrageous thing on the stump for the sole purpose of keeping Mitt Romney on defense. But here's the really despicable.
The most outrageous
thing. Here's the really despicable part, Margie, is when Joe Biden goes too far. Like, they want y'all back in chains. You know what the president does? He goes, well, that's just Joe being Joe. We all know he's a little unstable. Let's be honest. We can't control him. Trust us. This is Joe Biden's job, and that is to dispense propaganda, and the media helps carry the pail for the Obama campaign.
I agree with one thing. Before you jump in, Margie, Ford does make a good point, and this was a question that I did have. Do we not expect more from the vice president? Is it a case that he's done this so much that we've lowered our expectations for the vice president and we just kind of expect him to make these comments? Margie?
That's absolutely right.
There are a few things, right? First of all, I think the Joe Biden we have right now is the same Joe Biden that the president picked as his running mate in 2008. And you can't say the same thing about Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney now is in his 6th or 7th reboot, while Joe Biden has been someone who really loves the American people. He loves talking to people. Mitt Romney, in that tape and other times, it seems contemptuous of the very people he wants to represent. And the
Margie,
other point, there's one other thing. There's one other thing. Look at the data. I have some data. At Huffington Post, pollster, where I blog, we collect polls from all over the country, all kinds of outlets, impartial outlets. And Joe Biden currently, the average, he is net favorable, more favorable than unfavorable. So is the president. You know who's net unfavorable? Paul Ryan and Mitt Romney.
Well, that's favorability. But Ford, answer this. Okay, in terms of the Romney campaign, this is what they say in reference to Vice President Biden. They say that he, their words, continues to double down on the same false attacks and abysmal policies that have failed to turn around our economy and bring change to Washington. So, Ford, is the Obama administration allowing Biden to say whatever he wants as a means of distraction to avoid talking about policies?
That's absolutely right, Heather. He's basically the Obama campaign's toady, and his job is to keep sort of the pedal on the gas with 50 days out, solely so that Mitt Romney never gets into a position to say, hey, I can make America recover faster than President Obama. And by the way, my policies will improve the lives of all Americans over the next 4 years. They are trying to run out the clock, and Joe Biden's their secret weapon because all he's doing is carrying the water for the Obama campaign.
Okay, and so I want to end on this. I want you both to answer. When we began our segment, we had the vice president talking about being candid, laughing about being candid, and say that's what people expect from me. So, Margie and Ford, is it a matter of being candid or is it a matter of lying? Margie?
Well, it's definitely, as I said before, he could have gone a lot farther. He certainly wasn't lying. I mean, Mitt Romney sounded so
He's not lying when he says that the Ryan Romney plan is going to put 30 million seniors off of Medicare. He's lying. He's lying and intentionally misleading, purposely to slime Mitt Romney because Mitt Romney can't get his own message out.
No, I mean, their plan would change Medicare, as we know. That's what the Wall Street Journal said. Those aren't my words or Joe Biden.
What about when he
Joe
said,
Biden says for people over 55, the Romney-Ryan plan only deals with people under 55.
Prescription
Not only
drug
that,
loophole.
Fact Check then says that you guys want to run out there and say we're going to raise taxes on the middle class. That's not true. You guys are lying and intentionally misleading all the way to Election Day.
The Bipartisan Tax Policy Center released a report that said Mitt Romney's going to raise taxes on 95% of Americans.
Actually, the group factcheck.org checked that as well, Margie, and they said that, in fact, is not true. That would not raise middle-class taxes by $2,000, and, in fact, it promises to lower middle-class taxes. So there we go. Thank you both for joining us. A very heated debate today. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Heather.
Thank you. Bye-bye.